A skunk ape of the Everglades. In the heart of Florida, the Everglades stretch like an unending tapestry of wilderness, woven with swamps, sawgrass marshes, and towering cypress trees that whisper secrets to the wind. The thick, humid air is alive with the droning of insects and the distant calls of creatures unseen, creating a symphony of nature that both invites and unnerves the soul. Yet within this wild landscape, a darker tale unfurls, a legend that has haunted the marshes for decades. They call it the skunk ape, a towering creature that prowls the shadowy depths, its very presence sending shivers down the spine of even the bravest adventurer. The skunk ape is no ordinary beast. Described as standing between 6 and 8 feet tall, its body is cloaked in a shaggy coat of dark reddish-brown hair that seems to absorb the very light around it. But it is the smell of the creature that truly sets it apart. A stench so vile and penetrating that it burns the nostrils, a nauseating blend of rotting flesh and sulfur that lingers long after the creature has passed, forever entwined with the fears and imaginations of those who dare to wander these swamps. The legend stretches back generations, rooted deeply in the tales of Native American tribes who spoke of a great swamp guardian, a giant that watched over the marshes with fierce protectiveness. In the 1960s and 1970s, the myth gained momentum as modern sightings surged. Newspapers brimmed with letters and photographs from terrified residents, hunters, campers, fishermen, each recounting heart-pounding encounters with a massive, humanoid silhouette lurking just beyond the trees. They spoke of glowing red eyes that pierced the darkness, of enormous footprints pressed into the mud, and of that unforgettable, repugnant smell. These accounts, filled with a blend of fear and fascination, transformed the skunk ape from mere myth into a living specter that haunted the southern swamps. Among the most chilling pieces of evidence emerged in 2000, when an anonymous woman sent grainy photographs to the sheriff's office in Sarasota County. The images revealed a large, ape-like figure lurking behind palmetto leaves, its eyes glinting like embers in the night. She claimed it had been stealing fruits from her backyard for weeks, a mischievous yet unsettling presence. Skeptics quickly dismissed the images as a hoax, but believers pointed to the creature's uncanny proportions, arguing it bore no resemblance to any known animal in Florida. The Mayaca skunk ape pictures sparked fiery debates that continue to this day, tantalizing the curious and terrifying the timid. Yet, as the mysteries deepened, so did the questions. What is the skunk ape, if it truly exists? Some scientists theorize it could be a remnant of escaped primates, perhaps a colony of orangutans or chimpanzees that adapted to the wild, evolving into something far more sinister. Others argue that the sightings stem from misidentified bears or the errant wanderings of feral humans. Despite the rational explanations, the stories linger, whispered among park rangers and echoed in the nervous laughter of campers who claim to have heard bone-chilling screams reverberating across the water at night. As dusk fell one fateful evening in the 1970s, the legend grew darker still. A man set out to hunt, his loyal dogs trotting eagerly by his side. Yet as they approached a particular patch of forest, the dogs froze, their fur bristling with an instinctual dread. Undeterred, the man pressed on, only to be met by a fearsome sight. A massive, hairy figure lunged from the shadows, shaking the very trees with a roar that reverberated through his bones. He fled, his heart racing, and when he returned with friends, the air was thick with the same overpowering stench that haunted the tales of the skunk ape. Physical evidence continued to emerge, with casts of enormous footprints measuring over 13 inches long and hair samples collected from the swamp. Yet DNA tests often returned inconclusive, pointing instead to common animals, bears or horses, further fueling the debate. Is the skunk ape a reality or merely an embodiment of local folklore, amplified by fear and the primal instincts of those who wandered too far into the dark? Skeptics argue that the swamps play tricks on the mind, where fog drifts low across the water, and every rustle of the leaves morphs into something sinister. The cries of birds can sound like the wails of the damned, and the movements of alligators can appear monstrous in the dead of night. But believers counter that countless reports from diverse witnesses cannot all be dismissed as mere illusions. The truth remains elusive, lurking in the shadows, waiting for the right moment to reveal itself. To this day, thrill seekers visit the Everglades in hopes of glimpsing the skunk ape. Some set up night vision cameras, while others venture into the depths armed only with flashlights and an insatiable curiosity. Local gift shops capitalize on the lure, selling whimsical skunk ape memorabilia. Yet beneath this playful commercialization lies a current of genuine fear. Those who claim to have encountered the creature recount their experiences with a haunted look in their eyes, the laughter fading into a lingering dread that clings to their hearts like the swamp's thick mist. As the sun sets over the vast expanse of the Everglades, the unsettling thought lingers. This wilderness, sprawling over 1 million acres, is a labyrinth where something could hide, far from the eyes of humanity. If the skunk ape exists, it roams undetected, leaving behind only fleeting traces, footprints, haunting screams, and that unforgettable stench that hangs in the air like a warning. The skunk ape remains one of Florida's greatest unsolved mysteries, a creature that may straddle the line between myth and reality. And if you ever find yourself camping deep in the swamp and the air suddenly fills with the stench of rot, you may realize, just perhaps, you are not alone. The Devil's Chair of Cassadaga. In the quiet town of Cassadaga, Florida, where the air shimmers with an electric tension, lies the infamous Devil's Chair, a seemingly innocuous brick seat nestled against the gnarled roots of ancient trees in the cemetery. To the untrained eye, it appears as just another solemn resting place for the grieving. But to the locals, it is a sinister throne, a portal where whispers of the damned echo through the night. As twilight descends, a cool breeze sweeps through the graveyard, carrying with it the scent of damp earth and aged stone. The sun dips low, painting the sky in hues of crimson and indigo, casting long shadows that dance among the tombstones. The townsfolk, with their knowing glances and hushed whispers, recount tales of the chair that chill the bone. It is said that decades ago, the chair was built to comfort grieving families, a space to mourn in peace. But over time, stories twisted and turned into something darker, a gateway for the devil himself. Those who dared to sit upon it at midnight claimed to hear low, guttural murmurs that sent shivers down their spines. Some spoke of alluring offers of power or wealth, while others fled in terror from threats that felt all too real. Among these tales is a peculiar ritual involving an unopened can of beer. Locals assert that if you place a can on the chair at night and return by morning, the can will be mysteriously empty, yet the seal will remain intact. Skeptics laugh it off, merely condensation or pranksters at play, but the tradition persists, a testament to the unseen forces that seem to linger. Yet the Devil's Chair is not merely a source of ghost stories. Those who've perched upon it recount experiences that defy explanation. The sensation of cold hands resting heavily on their shoulders, the weight of dread pressing down as shadows flicker between the graves, and the unsettling feeling of being watched by glowing red eyes hidden in the darkness. Cassadaga itself adds layers to the legend. A town steeped in spiritualism since the late 1800s, its streets hum with a strange energy. Psychic shops beckon passersby, and the air feels charged with anticipation, as if the town is a living being, breathing stories of the otherworldly. It is here that the Devil's Chair finds its place, a tangible manifestation of the town's dark, supernatural lore. As the skeptics gather their arguments, claiming that fear breeds myth and a simple stone chair could not possibly harness such power, others remain haunted by encounters that challenge rational thought. The 1990s brought a group of teenagers, daring each other to test the legend. Laughter filled the air as they sat, but when one boy felt a sudden icy grip on his arm, the mirth turned to panic. Fresh scratches appeared on his skin, unexplained and terrifying, leaving the group to question their bravado. Another man, emboldened by disbelief, mocked the chair, only to meet a tragic end weeks later in a mysterious accident. The locals whispered of curses and consequences, a stark reminder that the boundaries between the living and the spectral are often blurred in Casadaga. As night cloaks the cemetery in its inky embrace, a profound silence envelops the area surrounding the chair. Crickets cease their song, and the wind stills, as if nature itself holds its breath. Even dogs refuse to venture close, sensing an unseen presence that wards them away. Paranormal investigators have attempted to unravel the secrets of the chair, capturing strange readings and echoes of voices that entice and warn. Still, the devil's chair draws the brave, the curious, and the foolish. Some come to challenge their fears, sitting beneath the pale glow of the moon, while others leave offerings, coins, trinkets, or beer cans, hoping to appease whatever dwells there. For some, it is merely a thrilling story to share. For others, it is a brush with the unknown that lingers long after they leave. Is the devil's chair a true portal, a connection to something sinister? Or is it merely a product of fear magnified by the town's lore? The truth hides in the shadows, forever elusive. But one thing remains certain. Those who sit in the chair at midnight will carry its weight in their memories, whether it be the whispered secrets in their ears, a cold creeping down their spine, or perhaps an emptiness that haunts them long after they've passed through the cemetery gates. In a town where the veil between worlds feels perilously thin, the devil's chair stands as one of Florida's most chilling enigmas, beckoning the brave to confront their fears and test the boundaries of reality. Miami Mysterious Circle. Beneath the bustling streets and glass towers of downtown Miami lies one of the greatest archaeological mysteries in the United States, the Miamicircle. To the casual observer, it may look like nothing more than a strange pattern carved into stone. But to historians, spiritual seekers, and skeptics alike, this ancient site represents something far deeper, an enigma left behind by a people long vanished, with secrets we may never fully understand. The Miamicircle was discovered in 1998, completely by accident. Construction crews were clearing land for a luxury condominium project on the south bank of the Miami River. But as workers dug into the limestone bedrock, they began to notice unusual patterns, dozens of perfectly carved holes forming a massive circle, nearly 40 feet in diameter. When archaeologists rushed to the site, their hearts raced with the thrill of discovery. They realized this was no natural formation. The circle contained 24 main holes, along with dozens of smaller ones, carefully cut into solid rock thousands of years ago. Whoever created it had to carve deep into the hard limestone using only primitive tools, no metal, no modern equipment, just determination and knowledge passed down through generations. The question immediately arose: who built the Miamicircle, and why? Archaeologists believe it was the work of the Tequesta tribe, one of Florida's earliest known Native American groups. The Tequesta lived in the Miami area for more than 2,000 years, thriving off the rich waters of Biscayne Bay and the surrounding forests. They left behind shell tools, pottery fragments, and traces of a society that revolved around both survival and spirituality. But here's the mystery. The Tequesta are not known for creating large permanent stone structures. They built villages of wood and thatch. They fished, hunted, and lived in harmony with the land. Why then would they carve an enormous, perfectly symmetrical circle into bedrock? Something that would have taken years of painstaking labor. Some researchers argue it was a foundation for a ceremonial building, perhaps a chief's house or a sacred temple. Others say the circle may have been used for religious rituals, with fires burning in the carved holes, smoke rising into the night sky as chants echoed along the river. Still others suggest it was aligned with the stars, possibly an astronomical calendar similar to Stonehenge. And then there are the legends. Local stories claim the miamicircle is not just an ancient monument, but a portal, a gateway to the spirit world, or even to other dimensions. Spiritualists who have visited the site often report feeling strange vibrations when standing at its center. Some say they hear whispers carried by the river breeze. Others claim to have seen glowing orbs hovering above the stones, vanishing when approached. Skeptics argue these are just tricks of the imagination. Yet the site's location adds weight to the mystery. The circle sits at the mouth of the Miami River, where freshwater meets saltwater, a place many ancient cultures considered sacred. Water was often seen as a bridge between worlds, and building a sacred site there may not have been coincidence. As soon as the miamicircle was discovered, it sparked a battle. Developers wanted to continue their construction project, arguing that the circle was just a curiosity. Archaeologists, historians, and Native American groups fought desperately to preserve it. The conflict grew so heated that the state of Florida stepped in, eventually buying the land for over $26 million to protect the site forever. Since then, the miamicircle has become both a tourist attraction and a puzzle that refuses to be solved. Excavations uncovered artifacts like stone axes, pottery shards, and animal bones, suggesting the site was used for centuries. But none of these finds explain the true purpose of the circle. Some theorists, stepping beyond mainstream archaeology, suggest the miamicircle might be evidence of an unknown ancient civilization that once thrived in Florida, long before recorded history. They point to the precision of the carvings and argue that the Tequesta could not have achieved such engineering without outside influence. Could it have been connected to the fabled Atlantis? Some even claim the circle lines up with other mysterious sites across the Caribbean, hinting at a lost network of ancient builders. Adding to the intrigue, local residents often report paranormal activity near the site. Strange lights in the sky, electrical devices malfunctioning, a lingering sense of being watched. Paranormal investigators who set up equipment at the circle have captured unexplained audio, low hums, knocking sounds, even what some interpret as voices speaking in an ancient tongue. Today, the miamicircle sits preserved within a small park in downtown Miami, surrounded by skyscrapers and modern life. Tourists pass by, some unaware of the power beneath their feet. Others stop to marvel, sensing the weight of history pressing against the present. What makes the miamicircle so haunting is not just its age or mystery, but its endurance. For thousands of years, storms, floods, and human progress swept over Miami. Yet the circle remained hidden, waiting to be revealed. Why it was built and what secrets it holds may never be known. But one thing is certain: the miamicircle stands as a reminder that beneath our modern world lie echoes of ancient people whose knowledge and beliefs remain just out of reach. Perhaps one night, under the glow of the moon and the whisper of the river, the circle will reveal its purpose. Until then, it remains one of Florida's most chilling and captivating mysteries, a silent monument carved into stone, holding answers we may never unlock. A ghost ship of Cape Canaveral. Off the coast of Cape Canaveral, Florida, sailors and fishermen have reported seeing a phantom ship appearing out of the mist, glowing faintly under the moonlight. Witnesses describe it as an old wooden vessel, rigging swaying with lanterns glowing eerily, yet no one is ever aboard. The ghost ship is said to appear only on certain nights, moving silently across the waves before vanishing without a trace. Some locals claim it's the spirit of a ship lost during the colonial era, cursed to sail forever along Florida's coast. Others believe it's tied to pirates, carrying treasure or secrets that were never found. Attempts to approach the vessel often fail. Electronic compasses go haywire, and fog seems to thicken around it. Even experienced sailors report feeling an unnerving chill or hearing faint voices carried over the water. Despite modern technology and numerous sightings, no evidence of the ship has ever been recovered. The legend of the ghost ship remains a chilling reminder that Florida's waters hold secrets far older than any city, hiding echoes of history that refuse to rest.